Hi, I'm Mrs. Grona. I wanted to welcome you to eSchool Algebra 2, Segment 2. So this is the second half of Algebra 2. It would consist of modules 6 through 10 for a half a credit of math going towards graduation. So before we get started, just wanted to share a little bit about myself. So I've been teaching with eSchool since 2008. So I've been with eSchool teaching online math for a while here. Another part of, besides teaching high school math, is my three children. So all three of them are go to Kenosha Unified Schools. My oldest, Bella, is an eighth grader at home. My middle child is Gianna. She will be a fifth grader at Nash Elementary this year. And my youngest, Jax, you can see here, is a third grader at Nash. So besides teaching online math, obviously these three keep me busy with their sports and their activities and whatnot. Also, outside of that, I also teach fitness classes at the Rexplex in Pleasant Prairie, more of like a hobby. But let's jump right into your course so that we can go over a few things, give you a general overview of the course before you get started with your first module. So if you take a look here, this is your landing page. So when you first log into your eSchool courses and get into Buzz is what houses our courses, this is your landing page. So it gives you just a really good start in terms of what you need to do first. That's also included in the welcome email. Biggest thing is making sure that you're going to the welcome folder and working through everything there, and that kind of highlights that here in these bullet points. The other thing is the academic integrity policy. If you're unfamiliar with that, make sure that you read that so you understand plagiarism and how it applies to this online environment, specifically a math class. So please be aware that you cannot Google answers and copy and paste them right into, a math test or a math assignment, that is in violation of the policy and that there would be consequences for that. Obviously, at any time, if you have any questions, follow up with me. So first and foremost, you are jumping into the welcome folder where it says start here. So again, in your student view, you will tend to have your to-do list and your announcements at the top. So any assignments that are coming up due, if you're taking more than one eSchool course, they'll kind of be mixed in there together. If you're in just this course specifically, you can condense those. So there's a little triangle, so make sure that you know that this is where you can access all of your module folders versus just kind of going in whatever they tell you to do next. So you want to make sure you read through everything here in the welcome folder. First and foremost is the course expectations document. So kind of highlighting just some of the communication ways with me and websites and my cell phone that you can make sure that you save and you can use at any time. But also just some tips as you get started. So just that's what this introduction is. So read through that. Just my experience teaching online and teaching math online, which is again a little bit different than some other online courses, that you want to not do everything all at once, but really spread things out and staying with those due dates. As I kind of just highlight again, this course expectations, progress reports, those are emailed to you and your parents or guardians on a regular basis. Pace chart is your due dates and your grades. So every assignment from your start date that you're enrolled in with your eSchool course with Algebra 2 and your assignment end date. And all the due dates kind of are populated from there, and those are all located in your gradebook. And that's what you want to stay on pace with. So you're trying to meet those due dates. The other thing with pace charts is attendance. So eSchool attendances that you do need to make sure that you are successfully submitting work on a weekly basis. Next up is discussion-based assessments. You're going to see these as you look through your modules. They're in each module towards the end. That's that required component. It gives us that opportunity, kind of like a stopping point for you and I to talk over the phone or meet on Blackboard Collaborate. But it is kind of like that real-time meeting that we get to kind of discuss, go over your practice test. I get to ask some questions of you, make sure that you're understanding everything you need up to that point. Knowing that my motivation is for you to earn credit in this course. So I'm ultimately trying to prepare you for that final exam. And note that eSchool final exams, you need to come into eSchool and you have to earn at least a 60%. So our goal is kind of just to kind of keep building on all those math skills and concepts so that you're completely prepared for that. So that's the discussion-based assessments. When you get to one, you contact me, you can text me, call me, we'll set up a time to talk. Again, your grade book, you're going into your grades to check that. And again, you're going to want to go to that frequently. So that was one of the things I kind of always note is you log into your Algebra 2 course, go to your grades. That gives you just a good synopsis of what you've done. You can review some of your scores. which leads into kind of a couple things later on here in the course expectations. Late work and policies, take a look at that. Resubmitting work, so you will have many opportunities to resubmit work and make corrections. If you do see an arrow specifically in your grade book next to an assignment, that's again important to go to your grades. That means the assignment has to be resubmitted. Along with that, though, is to make sure that you are checking your feedback. So if you're going to resubmit an assignment, or if you're just reviewing an assignment, say you get a 90% on it even, you still want to look at the mistake you made and either make sure you understand it, reach out to me, read the feedback, and you can do that by clicking on your scores in your gradebook. That's probably the easiest way, unless you're getting it in your feed right when you log into your course. What you should have, definitely have just a notebook along with any formula sheets or lesson summaries that you're provided. And lastly, this discusses the final exams, what you can use, and again, remind you that you have to earn that minimum 60% on the average of all parts of the final. So if it's a two-part final, you need to have an average of a 60% in order to earn credit, no matter what your overall grade is. So that's the course expectations. That's number one, super important. The second important thing that's for you just to make the rest of the course easy and really make you feel like you're supported and you're provided with some stuff from me is this lesson summary packet. So if you go ahead and click on this under the welcome folder and open up this PDF, you're going to see that in each of the lessons throughout this course, for every module, there's a little mini summary. What I did is I put them all together. So what I tell students to do is print this off. If I could see you on the first day of class, this would be the one thing I would hand you for the whole course. Print it off, staple it, put it in your notebook. Okay, so this in your notebook, and then you can reference this and use this as you work through each of the lessons, taking additional notes. So again, this is kind of the highlighted version of the notes, but again, you're going to want to write your own examples or add more things in your notebook and just continue to write those in order. So from Module 6, as you work on an assignment, write that in your notebook and continue to write notes and collect those to use as you work along. Back to it in the welcome folder, this third thing down, math mindset, you're going to just take some time to read through all of these parts of it, specifically the checklist of habits. So this is just trying to get you in that growth mindset, no matter where you've kind of come from up to this point, whatever your algebra math experience was up to this point, we want to make sure you're in that good mindset to learn from your mistakes, to make corrections, to look for help, and all of these things kind of set you up for success in that way. Then we get to actually the first things you need to do. So the two main things you need to do before you actually start the math modules, which is in Module 6, is you do need to do the pre-course survey. So it is a Google form. Fill it out in its entirety. Like the landing page had said, once you submit it, you're given a password. So make sure you either write it down or remember that password. So that's kind of your key to do your first assignment. So once you have read through all of this, you're good to go with the course expectations. You've done the pre-course survey. You can do this first getting started assignment, which is really just true or false. Again, making sure that you understand the main points of the course expectations. Enter the password in and go ahead and start that. There's your welcome folder. The next folder is going to be super useful to you that you'll come back to hopefully as you need math help throughout the course. First one is that there is this math website, so you can go to this math website outside of my course. It has a specific page for Algebra 2. It has extra websites, resources matched up to each of the lessons. So that's something that you can check out there. My contact information, so make sure you know this, make sure you have it. Obviously, we should be emailing back and forth on a regular basis. My cell phone, you can text me, so I text students all the time. That would be if you need to set up a discussion-based assessment. You're stuck. You can't access the eSchool, the first assignment, right? Or you didn't get the password. You can text me any of that stuff, or just to set up a help session. If you need help, there's kind of two opportunities for that besides talking over the phone, and that would be coming into eSchool on Wednesdays from 1 to 3. So that is the only time I'm at eSchool. Obviously, being an online course, a lot of your help is going to be through kind of our Blackboard or our different online components. So if that works out for your schedule, great, come in. I'm working in the lab, students come in, they work on a computer. If they need help, I'm there. Obviously, that doesn't work for everyone's schedule. The other opportunity is that we have Blackboard Collaborate, which is an online classroom. So I have office hours that I'm for sure always on, which is Tuesdays 9 to 10, but that's not it. So that's not limited. So feel free that I usually just set it up by appointment. So that's a great place to get help because we're able to kind of meet in real time and that we can work on a whiteboard. I can share my screen with you. So we just have a lot of opportunities. The same as meeting face to face, but obviously more convenient that you get to stay at your house or wherever you're logging on to. And the same for me. So working with both of our schedules. The final thing I have here on the contact page is make sure you're checking your course announcements each week. So I update those on Mondays, and that is where I kind of put what my schedule is for the week. So if I'm unavailable certain times or if I'm going to be at a conference for a whole day, you're able to see that right away on Monday morning. And also I like to share some pictures and just some updates, with what's going on with me, and hopefully some tips that help you out as you work through this course. Here's the Blackboard Collaborate link, so you can go to that. So if we were going to meet on Blackboard Collaborate, you can get the link here. Also, you can get it on the eSchool website. How to type math. So this just gives you a brief overview of making graphs, typing square root symbols, whether it's in a Google Doc or it's actually in one of the assessments in a test or in a quiz, where you can do that here. Finally, for math help is the options to make corrections. So what I talked about that in feedback, I talked about that with your math mindset, that growth mindset. So please make sure understand that I do allow you to make assignments on any assignment, instead of always having to resubmit the whole thing, right? So if you got 5 problems, you got 3 correct, 2 wrong, instead of having to redo the whole assignment, I allow you to compose an email, and you can kind of see what I need there, basically explaining to me how to do the problem correctly. So most of your assignments will give you direct feedback, meaning giving you the correct answer. So I want you to use that kind of like back step to figure out how should I have gotten that correct answer, and that's what I want to see in in that email. And I will give you points back. So really ultimately you can have 100% of all of your assignments if you want to make that effort to make those corrections as you're working through the course. Okay, so that's math help. And that's basically the first just general overview. After that, you're jumping into Module 6, starting with your lesson. So looking forward to having you in the class. Please reach out for help, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.